All right. So today we are going to talk about future tense. So in our last class we discussed present tense, past tense. Now we are going to talk about future tense. So as we discussed in our previous classes, as there are three tenses mainly, present, past, future, they are again subclassified into four more, right? Simple tense, continuous tense, perfect tense, and perfect continuous tense. So now we are going to talk about future tense. Specifically, we are going to discuss all the four types of future tenses. First, simple future. First of all, look at what is the usage of simple future. What is the usage of simple future? For future actions. So simple future generally can be used for future actions. So future actions, what does it mean? If some action or if something is going to happen soon, or if something is going to happen after some time, those actions known as future actions. So to indicate future actions, we should use simple future. To indicate future actions, we should use simple future. Next, future continuous. Future continuous. So when we should use future continuous? For an action going on in future. So if some action is going on at the moment or now, that is present continuous. If any action is going on at the moment or if some action is going on now, in that case, that should be in present continuous. But here we are talking about an action which is going to continue in the future. Which is going to continue in the future. Okay, it will be continuing in the future. In that case, we should use future continuous because the action is going to continue in the future, not in the present, not even in the past. That is why we are using future continuous. And the second point under future continuous. For future planned actions. For future planned actions. Okay, so if you have any future planned actions, in that case, you should use future continuous. If you had any plan about the future planned actions, in that case, we should use future continuous. Very good. Now, future perfect. Future perfect. So when we should use future perfect tense? For future completed actions. So for example, if you are planning to complete some action or if you are planning to complete any action in a particular time in the future, by this time, by a particular time, by this particular time, if you are able to complete that action, that can be mentioned in future perfect. If you plan to complete some action in the particular time of the future, in that case, we should use future perfect tense. Future perfect continuous tense. Future perfect continuous tense. So here you need to remember two words, future perfect and continuous. Right. So what is the situation we should use future perfect continuous tense? So for an action going on in future and it will continue to a certain time in the future. So an action is going on in the future. It is continuing in the future. It will continue in the future. Similarly, it will continue till to a particular time. It will continue till a certain time. Right? In that case, we should use future continuous. Sorry, future perfect continuous. Okay, action will continue simultaneously. It will continue till up to a particular time. Up to a particular time or up to a specific time in the future. In that case, we should use future perfect continuous tense. Is it clear? Is it clear so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now, so now I would like to give you a small point. I mean, it's a small hints. It's kind of small hints. We need to keep in mind. Generally, where we get a little bit confusion in tenses. So the first point. So if you are able to see the screen, there is common errors in the use of tenses.
Yeah.
So common errors.
Yes,
Generally,
yes, yes.
we commit a little mistake while we are using tenses. So now we are going to talk about that point. Common errors while you are using
Errors.
tenses. First point. Present continuous tense should not be used in place of present perfect continuous. Okay. So present continuous tense should not be used in place of present perfect continuous tense. Example. I'm working in the college for last 5 years. So here we use the example as I am working. This is present continuous.
Yes.
But it is, of course, the action is continuing still now. The action is going on even now. But the action started before 5 years or 5 years ago. Okay. The action started in the past but still continuing. In that case, we should use present perfect continuous.
I have been.
Exactly. I have been working in the college for last 5 years.
5 years.
Exactly. Right. So this is the correct answer. I have been working in the college for last 5 years. Okay. So we should not use present continuous in the place of present perfect continuous.
Sir,
Right.
what is the difference, sir? What is the difference, sir?
Yes. So here the difference is I am working in the present continuous. I'm working. I'm working is in the present continuous. So generally, what is the meaning of present continuous? So if action, if something or if an action is going on now,
Yes.
if something continuing, some action continuing now, then we should use present.
Continuous. Yes.
But here, the action started 5 years ago, not now. Action started 5 years ago, but still continuing. So to indicate the whole period from the 5 years ago to till now, to indicate that 5 years duration, we should use present perfect continuous. Okay?
Yes.
Good.
Sir, I have been working in the college for the
5 years.
for yesterday, sir.
So for yesterday, simple past, simply. So no one can work for one day. Correct?
Yes, yes.
So for example, if you want to talk about only for one day, then you can say, I worked for college for one day. I worked,
Yeah.
already completed for only one day. So simple past tense can be used.
Past tense.
Yes. Right. So present perfect should not be used for past actions again. Right. So present perfect should not be used for past actions. So whenever you need to talk about past actions, we should not use present perfect. So I have visited Agra. I have visited Agra. That is wrong. We should use I visited Agra. So we are not mentioning any particular time frame here. If you don't mention any particular time frame, we should not use I have visited, but we should use simple past. I visited Agra, because we are not mentioning any time frame. It might be last week, it might be last month, it might be last year, it might be 10 years ago. Okay, a decade ago also can be mentioned. For example, when I was a child, I visited Agra. Right? If you want to say that, how can we say? We should not say I have visited Agra.
No.
Present perfect tense should be used for
For present time only.
recent
Present.
completed actions. Recent
Ah.
completed actions. But I
Yeah.
visited Delhi when I was a child. Right? So in that case, we should not use. Then simply we should use simple past. I visited Delhi. I visited Delhi. That's it. Very good. Now the third common mistake generally we may commit when we are using tenses. The third common mistake. Simple future should not be used in imperative sentences. Right? So we discussed already types of sentences. Assertive or declarative, imperative, interrogative, exclamatory sentences. What is meant by imperative sentences? Suggestions, requests, order, command, right?
Wish.
Wish. These are all imperative sentences. We should not use simple future with imperative sentences. In such cases, only simple present must be used. We should not use simple future. Simultaneously, what we should use? We should use only simple present. For quotations, for universal truths, for facts, for habits, for daily routine, right? For imperative sentences, we should use only simple present. No other tense can be used there. Example, you must see that the amount shall be paid soon. That is wrong. You must see that the amount shall be paid soon. So generally, in the regional languages, we use this kind of expression. Okay, but we should not use this tense in simple future. Okay, because it is an imperative. Instead of simple future, we should use simple present tense. How? You must see that the amount is paid soon. That the amount is paid soon. Okay, you must see that the amount is paid soon. This is the way how we should write. Next, fourth point. When there is a main clause with a simple future, when there is a main clause with simple future, the subordinate clause must be in the simple present. All right. So if there are two parts in a sentence, main clause, subordinate clause. If the main clause in simple future, the subordinate clause, the following subordinate clause should be in simple present tense. So example, this is the wrong example. I shall tell you about it when I will know the truth. I shall, future. I will, future. So it is wrong. Okay. I shall, future. I will also, future. Good.
Wrong.
We should never use that. But we should use, I shall tell you about it when I know the truth. I shall tell you about it when I know the truth. Okay. Which means I'll tell you, I'll definitely tell you that when I know that. Without knowing that, I can't be able to tell you that. Correct? So first let me know, then after I'll tell you. This is what the meaning of this statement. Right. Next. Past.
Shall and will. I shall, I will. What is the difference? I shall, I will.
So for the first person singular, we should use I shall. First person singular. For will, we can use all the rest of the statements. Okay. So just give me a 2 minutes time. After these common errors, I'll give you the examples there. I'll give you complete detailed explanation about whole future tenses. Then it will be easy for you to recognize the difference between shall, will and all.
Yes, yes, yes.
Right. So past perfect should not be used for simple past sentences, past tenses. Right. So for past perfect tense, we should not use for simple past tense. For simple past tenses, we should use only simple past tense, but we should never use past perfect. I had been to Canada recently. I had been to Canada recently. We should never use that. I went to Canada recently, or I've been to Canada recently. Okay, I went to Canada recently, or I've been to Canada recently. We don't need to mention I had been to Canada recently. Right. Next point.
I have gone to Canada
That is
recently.
present
Wrong.
perfect. That is present perfect. Present perfect. That is. So in that case, we should use. I have been to Canada just now, or I've been to Canada today. Right? Like that. So mostly we can't be able to use that. So generally we should use simple past. Right? Yes. Simple past should not be used for past perfect or past continuous tenses. For the past perfect continuous tenses. Okay. We should never use simple past tense for past perfect, past continuous, or past perfect continuous tenses. So example, Ritu said that she was working in the hospital for 5 years. Ritu said that she was working in the hospital for 5 years.
She had been.
Exactly. So we should never use simple past to indicate past perfect or past perfect continuous or past continuous. Right? So Ritu said that she had been working in the hospital for 5 years. Ritu said that she had been working in the hospital for 5 years. Clear?
Yes.
Any doubt?
While doing now, you will become more clear.
Yes, yes. That is what we are going to do now. Now, so these are the examples and structures you just look at. Automatically, you will be able to understand that concept. So simple future. Today we are talking about future tenses. So here I just provided you all the structures and examples for making it easy and clear. Right. So subject plus for simple future. Subject plus will or shall plus V1 plus object. Okay. Subject plus will or shall plus V1 plus object. That is simple future. Next, future continuous structure. Subject plus will or shall plus be, will be or shall be plus V1 plus ing because it is future continuous. Okay, as we discussed in our previous classes, whenever we are talking about future, whenever we are talking about continuous tense, there should be V1 plus ing. Whatever the tense it might be. Present continuous, present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, future perfect continuous. For all these 6 tenses, we should use V1 plus ing because it is continuous tense. So structure for future continuous. Subject plus will or shall plus be plus V1 plus ing plus object. Next, future perfect. Subject plus will or shall plus have plus V3 plus object. Subject plus will or shall plus have plus V3 plus object. Next, future perfect continuous. Subject plus will or shall plus have plus been plus V1 plus ing plus object. This is the little lengthiest structure. Subject plus will or shall plus have plus been plus V1 plus ing plus object. So this is a little lengthy structure when compared with all other structures. All right, now straightly jump into the examples. Then automatically you'll get it clearly. All right. So first example, just look at the first example. I shall play cricket. I shall play cricket. Okay. Next, future continuous. I shall be playing cricket. I shall be playing cricket. You just observe the examples, then automatically you'll get an idea, right? I shall play cricket. I shall be playing cricket. I shall have played cricket. I shall have been playing cricket. So if you observe here, what is the subject? So what is the subject here?
Singular.
Yes, first person singular, I.
Yes.
Okay. So what is the helping verb I used here?
Shall.
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 Okay. I shall.
Shall.
Now just wait there and then come to the second example. Just come to the second example. Right. So he will.
Third person.
He
Yes.
will. Right. So third person singular. For third person singular, I'm using will. He will. Okay. He will speak English. He will be speaking English. He will have spoken English. He will have been speaking English. Okay. So what is the subject here?
He.
Third person singular.
Third person singular.
Yes. So what is the helping verb here? Will.
Will.
So for first person singular, I used I shall. For third person singular, I used he will. Now just come to the third example. Come to the third example. They will. They will. They will. They will listen to music.
Listen.
Yes. They will listen to music. They will be listening to music. They will be listening to music. Next, they will have been
listening to music.
listened to music. They will have listened to music. Next, they will have been listening to
They
music.
will have to listen to music.
They will have been listening to music. All right. Now, what are the points you need to observe? First, what is the subject in first example?
I.
I. Very good. Helping verb?
Shall.
Shall.
Very good. In the second example, what is the subject?
He.
He
Very good. Helping verb?
will.
Correct?
Yes.
So now third example. What is the subject?
They.
They
Very good. They. Helping verb?
Will.
will.
Very good. Will. Now try to observe the difference. For first person singular, I used I shall. For second person, sorry, for third person singular, I used he will. For third person plural. So third person plural, as I said earlier, so take the plural as granted. So take the plural as granted and all the plurals give the same examples. All the plurals follow the same rule. So take third person plural as the common plural for all plurals. Okay. So for first person singular, I use I shall. Third person singulars, I used he will. Plurals, I used they will. Now you just tell me when we should use shall, when we should use will. The points are there in front of you.
Yeah. Second person, which one? Second person.
You will.
You.
Yes. So you is nothing but plural kind, right? Plural. So we always follow you. Always follow. I mean, you always follows plural rules, right?
Plural.
Do. You are. Right? You were. You have. Right? Similarly, you had. Right? So everywhere you has been almost treated as the plural. Right?
Yes. Yes.
Also followed the same rules. But here there is only one difference you need to observe. First example and the rest of the examples. Then automatically the answer will be on your hands.
Yeah.
So what is the point you observed?
Only I. Only for I we should use shall.
Right. If you use I will, what will happen?
Ah.
So generally we use I will. For example, if you invite me to your house, what do I say? Generally I will say, I will come to your house. Correct?
Yes.
But here I use I shall. I shall play cricket. I will come to your house. Then what is the difference?
Maybe certainty more will. Certainty.
Now just
Surety.
now just look at the examples here. So I have given different colors and different examples. Right. He will come to your house. Okay. He will come to your house. He shall come to your house. He shall come to your house. Will he come to your house? Will he come to your house? Shall he come to your house? Shall he come to your house?
Doubt. May or may not.
Now, come to I. I will come to your house. I shall come to your house. Shall I come to your house? Then make out the difference. Make out the difference. Then automatically it will be easy for you to understand. All right.
Shall I come to your house?
Yes. Shall I come to your house is nothing but taking permission. Granted. Permission granted.
Granted.
Answer is correct. Shall I come to your house? We are requesting.
Oh.
Yes. So we are requesting. Shall I come to your house? So it's a request. Okay.
Yes.
Now. So as I said, I will come to your house. I shall come to your house. Which is the correct one? You invited me for your house. You invited me to visit your house once. So what should I give the answer? Should I use I shall come to your house or should I use I will come to your house?
I will. I will.
Why?
Sir, it is definitely to go. If I definitely to go his house, I will use I will
Okay, you will use I will. If you go definitely.
or definitely.
All right.
In doubt, we will use I shall. I think.
Yeah, good. Little change. Just invert the answer. So whatever the answer you have given is 100% correct, but little change. So for doubt, for example, if you invite me to your house, I'll say simply, I will come. Can
Yes.
you?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you invite me to your house, definitely I'll say I'll come.
Yes.
Surely. Surely.
No. I will come in the
No.
sense
Doubt.
doubt.
Maybe or may not be. Yes.
We can't be able to predict whether I will be able to there or not. Even we can't be able to decide that. For example, now we are all in the lockdown period, and due to this corona, if you invite me to come and visit your house tomorrow, definitely I will say I will come to your house.
Yes.
But it may happen, may not happen. But if I use I shall come to your house, it's like oath, it's like promise. I should.
Oh.
I shall come to your house in the sense it's like a promise. We should do that.
Promise.
That is why mostly we don't use I shall. We don't use I shall because it is like a promise. We can't be able to decide what will happen in the future. We can't predict the future, correct? So that is why we don't use I shall. Okay? That is why we don't use I shall. But I will we can use. Okay?
Yeah.
Because you are not pretty confident whether you are able to do that or not. Because the future, no one can see what is going to happen in the next moment.
Yes.
So that's why we can use simply I will. Right? If you are damn sure or if you are 100% confident that you will do that, then you can use I shall do it. Because you already decided to do that 100%. Okay. So for example, I shall attend the class in 1 minute or in 5 minutes. I shall attend the class in 5 minutes. Okay. I will attend the class next week.
Maybe or may not be.
Maybe or may not be, because we don't know what will happen in the next week. Like it, right? So that is the difference between I shall, I will.
So when sir is telling no homework, that time we will tell we shall. We shall.
Yes, yes,
No.
yes.
I shall, not we
We
shall.
shall. Not we shall.
Yes.
Oh, we will. But then we will.
So
So
that
no
is,
sure thing.
I'm coming to the next point.
Okay.
So,
Sir, one glass of water. One glass water I will drink. Then.
okay.
Continue, sir. Continue, sir.
Yeah.
Continue. Yeah.
Right. So now, so for the first person, if you use I will, 50-50 chances. You may do it, you may not be able to do it. I shall means definitely. So here, exactly opposite to that. So for all other persons, we, he, she, it, they, you, for all, exactly opposite. For first person singular, I shall means 100%, damn sure. Okay, for rest of all persons, if you use we shall, he shall, they shall, that is nothing but opposite. 50-50 chances. But if you say he will, that is also strong determination, but we can predict. Okay, strong determination, but we can predict that. He will is most apt one to use. He will is the most apt one to use. He will, she will, we will, they will, you will, all will. Except I. Except I, we should use all will. But for I, we can use shall or we can use will. If you use shall, it is 100% should be done. It should be done 100%. If you use I will, 50-50 chances.
Yeah.
Clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Now I have a small dot. Here I mentioned another word in yellow color.
Shall he?
Yes. Shall he come to your house? Shall I come to your house? Okay, you are requesting. Shall he come to your house?
We should not use shall for he.
Sometimes we can use.
Ah.
Here we are requesting behalf of third person. We are
Oh.
requesting about our friend. Shall he come to your house? Right? So in that case, we can use that.
Oh.
So will he come to your house? In the sense we are questioning. Will he come to your house? Questioning. But shall he come to your house? We are requesting behalf of third person. Got the difference? All right. So these are the few points we should keep in mind. And any doubts?
Oh, this is no.
Sir,